So why we choose TestCafe next to Cypress? We are using Cypress and we have like a lot of tests, more than 1,000. We have 10 teams here. We have a lot of component tests we write, and we are a part of a digital. We generally build new components so that we can develop pages. We get backend from some other teams, and we want to make sure we can test front end independently independently without a backend. So Cypress is one of the best tool in the market right now, which can help you to mock things. You can intercept, you can stub, and you don't need to test your front end back. You don't need a backend to test your front end. That's why we are using Cypress. But things were going right, and one day we had an issue in Safari, and we deploy in production, and we found the things are not working in Safari. And as we are an e-commerce, and if our site is down for 1 hour, we could lose a lot of sale, and that happened. So we thought how we can mitigate the risk. So that's where we thought how we can do that. That's the problem is how we can do the cross-browser testing. So Cypress tests, we are running on cloud. As I mentioned, more than 1,000 tests we have across multiple teams. There's a complicated backend, many middle VARs. So we thought, let's try to mock everything and do in that way. We mock almost everything so that we can run in our pipeline with a single commit and with the release branch everywhere. And we were doing cross-browser testing for Chrome, Firefox, and Edge, but there was no Safari. So we used to do that locally on our machines, like manually, but somehow we missed one time. Then we thought, what is next step? How we can do? There are complaints and how we can mitigate that risk. So this is the problem that we found, and we thought how we can make it, solve it or do it better. Then we, I'm chapter 8 in the testing, so we thought how we can resolve this problem. And let's think together, what can we do best right now? So we looking into multiple solutions. We're looking into multiple solutions. Cypress doesn't support Safari yet. We checked their roadmap. We contacted to their developers. They said, okay, we are going to support Safari, but not soon, later, maybe end of the year. So if you open their GitHub, you can find it is on their roadmap, but not sooner. So we thought, okay, Cypress is not a solution for us. Then, yeah, it's gone. Then we thought, okay, what are the other alternatives? Do we need to rewrite all the tests in different framework? And there are multiple frameworks. And that's crazy to write, again, 1,000 test cases in different framework and run it. And then Cypress come with their Safari support, then how it will work. So that's also not right. So what we did, let's try to find out the most critical scenario and migrate to some other tool. So that's what we decide. Together with the team, with the developer, with the tester, with the PO, we thought, okay, these are the critical, maybe 100 scenarios that we want to run also on the browser with every single commit. That's how our first criteria. Then we thought, okay, what is the basic language we work in our company? So JavaScript/TypeScript. So our tool should be compatible with that. This is our first criteria. Second criteria, it should support cross-browser. And our third criteria, it should be very easy to start on our local machine, not like for Selenium, we need to do, we need to set up a lot of drivers, we need to do a lot of setup, but we don't want that. Like in a Cypress, you can start testing within 5 minutes. It won't take more than that time. So we have some basic criteria, and it should be work in our pipelines. So we're using a BrowserStack. So we thought, what could be the best tool to support all these criteria? So this is our basic criteria, how to go for the tool. In which language we are comfortable. It's not only tester, also developer, so that they can also think. And how easy to set up, how easy to integrate with the existing infrastructure we have. And it's good to be open source, or we don't need to pay for that. And it's an easy learning curve. Based on that, we start experiment. on the tools. So there are 3 tools we tried, like a Selenium. Selenium don't have that mocking functionality that Cypress have, like cy.intercept. Then in the new Cypress version, in the old is what cy.server, cy.route. So it was not that easy. So we thought, okay, Selenium is no. Then one of the most famous tool we have called WebDriver.io. Yeah, they do the mocking. They are in the beta version, and they are doing for Firefox and Firefox and Chrome, not for the Safari. So our experiment failed with the WebDriver.io also. Then we start with the TestCafe, and that's the winner. It fulfill our all criteria, and we thought it could be the best solution. Why it could be the best solution, you can see in the next slide. So why? We have a Cypress folder structure. There in the Cypress folder structure, we have an integration folder, we have a fixture folder, we have a locator, we have a package.json. Everything is working fine. So we thought how we can reuse most of the thing of Cypress and just need to write a spec.js file. So we thought in that direction. So as you can see, we have a Cypress folder here, integration folder, fixtures. Then we say, okay, let's have a TestCafe folder separately. And the test is same like integration and the locators. What next? Then we have a package.json file where we can write a scripts for TestCafe. And then we have a GitLab. We are planning to migrate from Jenkins to GitLab. So we thought, why not try in a GitLab directly? So we started with there. So in a package.json, you have a TestCafe script. So if you compare with Cypress, we need to only create this new folder, and we will try to use everything what we are using for Cypress. And we need to write some scripts in a package.json, and we need to write a small stage in a GitLab so that we can run separately Cypress test and TestCafe. So that's how we thought. And it should work on 3 browsers at least. So if you see these all these things we are combining together. For fixture, what we do in a fixture, we have our mock data. Whatever the response in the fixture, we keep in that file, and that we are going to use also with the TestCafe. And whatever the locators we are using for Cypress, we are also going to use for the TestCafe. And the test naming convention, whatever the name, we can use it. So you don't need to rewrite all those things again. We can directly use that. So this is our thought process, choosing TestCafe together with the Cypress. So that's it from our story why we choose that. Before going to the live demo, I have a small question. We have a lot of journeys, so I would just like to share one link with you guys, and I hope you can access that link. Sandeep, can you share this in chat?
Yes, it's the link has been shared in the chat.
Perfect. So we just want to know about you also, because this is our first meetup and we would like to know about you. And I'm just creating a poll, so I hope you can see. So first question is, where are you joining us from? So I hope you guys can see the first question. Let me know if you can't see. I got a really nice answer, LinkedIn. Someone is joining from LinkedIn.
I'm guessing the question here is, where are you physically located in terms of which country you're from?
Good. I see most of the people are from Netherlands or some from India? Good, thanks. And the next question to everyone is, what is your current role? Nice. We have quite a mix: QA lead, test automation engineers, front-end engineers, lead QA engineers, so all testers. So I hope it would be interesting for everyone. Seems like that. So I have a good audience. So yeah, thanks for your questions. Last but not least, I will not bother you that much. Which topics you are interested in future, if you like that. So this is a last poll. Which kind of testing you would like to hear from us? It could be load testing, security, contract, UI, API, mobile testing, or BDD, anything. Like, what would you like to see from us in future? Or any specific tool? Interesting. Most of the people are interested in contract, really new fancy thing. Mobile, security, web API. Yeah, quite a people interested in visual regression. So yeah, we use a lot visual regression also. We use here backstop JS tool and also Cypress. Yeah, contrast testing, we are not there yet. Load testing we use here also. Gatling, yeah. Mobile, yeah, we are planning to work with the hybrid apps, with the API and BrowserStack. Yeah, good to know. So yeah, that's it. Let's go to the live demo. What exactly, how we managed to do that. So let me know if you can share the code. Are you able to see, editor? Yeah, perfect. So as you can see, I mentioned the basic Cypress folder structure where we have some fixtures. So, and where we have some integration tests. And there are locators that keep in the file. So it's a small demo. I don't have a the application that I use in my company is a normal application that I deploy on Netlify. So you can also use to play with that later. So these are the three basic things that we use to run our test. If you can see here, we have a locators we are exporting from here. Then we have a fixture that we are using in a seed function. So this is a basic folder structure. Now what we need to do to start with the test cafe, and we decided, okay, I want to migrate only 2 test cases, which are quite important for me to run in Safari. So I said, okay, that's what our basic requirement. Then we say, okay, let's create a test folder that recognized by test cafe, and we copy the 2 spec files. And after that, what we need to do to set up a test cafe, you just need to install 2 dependencies, and one of the dependency is this test cafe, and another package dependency is this one, so that you can run in pipeline. So you don't need to do anything else, no fancy driver, no other dependencies. That's it. So when you do npm install test cafe and npm install this, that will work fine. Once you have these things ready, then you need to write your test. So as I mentioned, you don't need to do more or less, you need to try to use what you have in the Cypress. So if I compare Cypress test and the test that I have written, then you can easily figure out what's the difference. So this is a test that is in the TestCafe. This is a test in the Cypress. So I'm using all my fixtures from Cypress folder. I'm using all my locators from the Cypress folder. So I'm not rewriting anything from there. So if you see cy.seed and visit, it is the command that I have written for Cypress. What it do exactly? It route and use the fixtures here. So how we are doing in TestCafe, we use this command. So the commands are different in TestCafe. So you need to use the request mock, which will bring all the data when we call this endpoint and the fixture that we mentioned here. So we need to run only one single line to run our test, to mock the things. So this is the first thing we have to do. Then the same thing we have to do for writing our exact test. So here, what I'm doing, I'm just using the locators from Cypress folder. Then I'm checking whether the element is focused or not. The same thing I'm doing in a Cypress. So you can see with the minimal effort, you can easily write your Cypress test to TestCafe. And once Cypress deliver you the Safari thing, you can easily migrate back to that. So it's not the feasible solution for a long term, but till that time, Cypress do not have a Safari support, you can mitigate this using TestCafe together with the Cypress. So same thing I did with the another test. Yeah, just it is checking whether I'm able to writing whether the value is there. So I'm just using the same way, using same locator and fixture from Cypress, and try to run try to use in TestCafe folder. So this is the basic thing that I did. Now we need to run locally first. So I write a small script, how to run locally and how to run inside the pipeline. So if you want to run locally, you need to just create a small command like npm run test Safari local, and it uses a proxy to
Akshay,
this. Yeah.
there's a request to lower the terminal part of it once you are back into the editor, so that they can see more of the code. Once you're back in the, yeah, that's it.
Yes, sure. So you see how fast it is running without installing any different driver that you used to do with the WebDriver IO and the Selenium. You can just run this command and use that. So Sandeep, what was the question again? I didn't get. Is it you want me to make it bigger or?
No, if you can lower this lower bar, which has a terminal, then more of the code is visible.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I can also close the thing so that you can see. Don't worry, we will share the whole code with everyone so that you can play with that. No problem. So this is how you can run locally your test. The thing with the TestCafe, you can't run headlessly on Safari. You can run headless with Chrome and the Firefox. So it's very straightforward. It took us by learning like 2-3 hours, watching some TestCafe videos on Test Automation University, reading some blogs. We were able to do that. So that seems perfect solution for us. Now the second challenge, we need to run in pipeline, not locally. What we have to do right now there. We don't have any Docker image which can run Safari browser there. So we thought how we can run. Then we thought of why not BrowserStack. So we are running in pipeline inside a cloud solution called BrowserStack. So I will show you how we are using that and what we need to do the changes in the pipeline. So this was our Cypress small script for a GitLab that we are using. Then we thought, okay, how we need to run inside a TestCafe. This is the image that you can find on their document and the state you need to install, and you need to just run this command. And in this command, you can see from here what I have written. So I am running this only on Safari. You can change whichever browser you need. It's just I'm using a Safari this and using this as a operating system. You can change client, whatever you want, you can use, and you can also configure which test you want. I'm just using whatever regular expression, whatever it is there, it can check. So this is the second script that you have to write to run inside the pipeline, and the small code here to run in CI/CD pipeline. So let's go to the GitLab and see the magic there. So this is our this is the small repo that I have created that I can share, and you can see what we are doing there. And this is the GitLab pipeline where I have my code that I pushed. I can just rerun, or I can show you what is already there. So if I open executed pipeline, you can see it is running for Cypress. It is separately running for TestCafe, so that you know, like, okay, at least Chrome and Firefox is working fine. Only there is a problem with Safari. So we know we can open TestCafe. Yeah, everything is fine. Things working fine. But where I can see the result, what happened exactly? So it also generated a BrowserStack link. You just need to go there and open that. If your company using something else, maybe Sauce Lab or maybe Lambda, you can use that. And you can see what happened to your test here. Yeah, so there you can see the results of your test directly from the pipeline.